Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Supernaturalist, the podcast where I explore the creatures, legends, and supernatural forces that inspired the TV show Supernatural. I'm your host, Shelly Meyer, and today we're diving into every Supernatural fan's least favorite episode, creepy crawly one from Supernatural Season 1, Episode 8, titled Bugs. In this episode, Sam and Dean face off against a swarm of deadly supernatural insects. But where did this bug invasion come from? And how do these insects fit into the world of folklore and supernatural lore? Today we're going to break down the history of bug invasions, their connection to nature, spirits, and how the Winchesters managed to stop them. So grab your bug spray and let's dive in. In folklore, bug invasions are often seen as omens or punishments, natural occurrences that signal something much darker beneath the surface. In many cultures, particularly in ancient and medieval times, the invasion of insects like locusts or beetles was considered a divine punishment for sinful or immoral behavior. One of the most famous examples is the biblical plague of locusts, which was part of the 10 plagues of Egypt. This was seen as a direct act of God to punish the pharaohs for refusing to free the Israelites. Throughout history, swarms of insects, particularly locusts, have been seen as harbingers of doom. In the 19th century, the Irish potato famine was partially blamed on a swarm of insects, even though modern science has showed that it was due to fungus. Still, the lore around such invasions persists, with many believing that the appearance of swarms is a sign of impending disaster or as a manifestation of the Earth's fury. In other cultures, insects like ants, beetles, and even fireflies have been linked to spiritual beings or natural spirits that may either be benevolent or malevolent, depending on the circumstances. When an infestation of bugs occurs in these traditions, it's often a sign that the balance between humans and nature has been disrupted, leading to a supernatural response. In Supernatural, the bug invasion is much more than just a creepy occurrence. It's tied to the vengeful spirit of Native American spirits who have had their graves disturbed. Now they seek retribution through an army of bugs. The invasion happens in a small town where the local residents are being attacked by swarms of insects, causing a growing sense of fear and chaos. The origins of the bug infestation is tied to an ancient Native American burial ground. When the land is disturbed by the construction of new homes in a development, the restless spirits of the Native American people who were wronged by settlers or others are awakened, causing the insects to invade. It's a classic supernatural plot. A case of the natural world fighting back against human interference in the form of these supernatural bugs. These bugs, driven by the anger of the disturbed spirits, begin to invade this town, terrorizing the people living there, and the bugs aren't just random. They're orchestrated by the spirits to deliver their vengeance on those who have desecrated their sacred land. In this episode, the bugs represent the wrath of nature disturbed by human actions. Isn't that always the case? Things go wrong when humans mess with nature. In Supernatural, the bugs invading the town come in all shapes and sizes. We're talking about swarms of angry, biting, and deadly insects, from bees to wasps to spiders and even more terrifying creatures. These bugs aren't just normal insects. They're imbued with supernatural power, making them far more dangerous than any everyday bug problem. The most dangerous of these insects is the queen bee. She's the focal point of the infestation. The bees and other insects in the swarm are being controlled and driven by the angry spirit that has been awakened. In this supernatural influence that makes the bugs much more than simple pest problems. What's interesting in supernatural is that the bugs aren't just targeting anyone. They have a specific goal. They're after the people who are responsible for disturbing the sacred land. In this case, the town's developers and those living on the land are the primary targets here. The reason behind this bug infestation is tied to a common theme in supernatural: the disturbance of sacred or spiritual land. With different kinds of entities of this type, this is usually how this happens. The land, which once belonged to Native American tribes, was desecrated by the settlers, by the developers, and by the modern construction itself. The spirits of the land, angry at the way they've been wronged over time, over decades, maybe even centuries, summon these insects to exact their revenge on the living. In a broader sense, the invasion of bugs is a physical manifestation of the anger and pain that these spirits feel. In supernatural, the natural world, represented by these insects, is reacting to the harm humans have done by disturbing the burial grounds. The bugs are not just an attack. They're a physical and supernatural reminder of the spirit's desire for justice, using the only means they have, bugs, to inflict terror on those who have wronged them. In folklore, stopping a bug invasion often requires appeasing the spirits or gods that sent them. In the case of locusts or other plague insects, rituals to purify the land, offerings to the gods, or acts of atonement were common solutions. The idea was to restore balance and ask for forgiveness, often through sacrifice or prayers. In supernatural, however, things are a bit more straightforward, at least for the Winchesters. In the episode, the solution to stopping the bug invasion is tied to sealing off all openings to the house. Dean uses flammable bug spray to try to kill them. Then he realizes he didn't seal off the fireplace and the bugs get in. They go up to the attic with the family who lives in the home, and the termites start eating through the wood, which allows more bugs to get in. Everybody manages to survive the night, past midnight, long enough, and the sun comes up and once the spirit is dealt with, the bugs vanish, and peace is restored to the town. However, because of all of this chaos and bugs invading, the owners of that home and probably many of the other residents of this neighborhood are moving away, and I don't blame them. The supernatural version of the bug invasion is a reminder of the impact humans have on the natural world, particularly when they disrespect the land and its history. It also showcases a recurring theme in supernatural: the balance between nature and the supernatural, and how the two are often linked. Insects, often seen as mere nuisances in everyday life, become deadly agents of supernatural vengeance when disturbed spirits are involved. Whether it's in folklore or on Supernatural, bug invasions are a symbol of nature's wrath, an unstoppable force when it's pushed too far, like many supernatural creatures. The Winchester's job, as always, is to uncover the truth, deal with the spirits behind the chaos, and restore balance before things get even worse. And that's not always feasible. Things go wrong. It happens. So that's all for today's episode of Supernaturalist. I hope this look into the supernatural episode Bugs and its lore gives you a deeper understanding of the supernatural power behind insect invasions. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and share, and join me next week as I continue to explore the world of supernatural. Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and remember, don't mess with sacred land.